What was the most heartbreaking thing you witnessed in court? When people ask me about the worst thing I've ever seen in a courtroom, I don't think twice. It was my own custody hearing. My ex-husband and I had been together for 10 years before the marriage fell apart. We had twin boys, Alex and Jorge. They were born only 3 minutes apart, and from the start, they were inseparable. They weren't just brothers, they were each other's world. When we separated, everything became a war. He wanted full custody. I wanted joint custody. I thought the court would see reason. Kids need both parents, right? But family court isn't about love. It's about money, paperwork, and who plays the part better. That day in court is burned into my memory. I sat at one table, trying not to shake. Across from me, my ex sat tall and calm, like this was a business deal. At first, it was the usual arguments. Who had the bigger house, the steadier income, the better schedule? I admitted I had struggled with postpartum depression when the boys were born. I thought being honest would show I cared. Instead, it was used against me. His lawyer stood up, with a folder I had never seen before. My private therapy notes. Somehow he had them. Every word I'd ever confessed about feeling exhausted, scared, or overwhelmed was read out loud like it was proof I was unfit. She admitted she couldn't get out of bed some days, his lawyer said. She admitted she felt unstable. How can someone like this raise 2 boys? I wanted to scream that those notes showed how hard I fought for my kids, but the judge's eyes had already shifted. I could feel the ground slipping beneath me. Then came the moment that destroyed me. The judge called Alex and Jorge to the front. My 7-year-olds walked up hand in hand, their little suits wrinkled, shoes squeaking on the floor. They looked so small standing in front of that tall wooden bench. The judge leaned down and asked the question no child should ever hear. Which parent do you want to live with? The boys froze. Jorge looked at Alex. Alex's eyes filled with tears. Jorge started crying too. The courtroom was silent, waiting. Finally, Alex whispered, "We don't want to choose." The judge sighed, but Alex went on, his voice breaking. "We just want to live together like before." And then Jorge, wiping his face, looked up and said, "Please, Judge Uncle, can you tell our parents to live together again?" The whole room went silent. Even the court clerk lowered her head. But my ex, he didn't move. Not a single flicker of emotion crossed his face. The judge cleared his throat and said gently, "I'm sorry, boys, but I can't do that." The twins broke down sobbing right there. In the end, the judge gave my ex primary custody. He had the bigger house, a higher paycheck, the stability. I was given every other weekend, from being their mom every day to being a visitor in their lives. The first time I dropped them off, Jorge clung to me, screaming that he didn't want to go. Alex whispered, "It's okay, Mommy. I'll take care of him." My 7-year-old promising to protect his brother. Years went by like that. Me living on scraps of time. School breaks, summer weeks, every other weekend. I told myself at least they were safe. At least they had each other. Last year, when they turned 12, Alex sat me down. His voice shook, and he looked around like he was afraid someone was listening. Then he said the words that still haunt me. "Mom, you don't know what it's like living with Dad. He's not who you think he is. We never told you because he said if we did, we'd never see you again." My stomach dropped. I asked him what he meant, but Alex just shook his head and started crying. Jorge sat next to him, staring at the floor, silent. Neither of them would say more. Now I look at my boys and wonder what secrets they've been forced to carry. What happened in that house that they're too afraid to tell me?